Hi Gemini, welcome to your Harsh Truth reading for December 30th through January 13th. Happy New Year to you if you celebrate. Everything you need to know about this reading is in the description box below. Word of warning, my cat is, I don't know what's going on, but she's bringing me gifts and she's loud about it. So there might be, some yowling or something that you hear in the background. Six of Wands. Okay, so this is recognition for a victory. Could be winning with partnership or friends. So you working things out with someone, or could be just achievement at work. Maybe passing a milestone in a relationship. Coming to resolution about something that benefits you both. Okay, and there's been an ending. All right, so this could be there's been an ending and you're victorious, or you want to win. You want to come out on top with this ending. You don't want to have to be in deficit, basically. Understandable. Judgment. The Hermit. So this could be Virgo. Three of Swords. Six of Pentacles, another six. And Two of Pentacles. Let me see what two sixes are. Two sixes are irritability. Okay, so perhaps there's annoyance. So what's on your mind, or what the overall energy is perhaps for you, is that you're looking at how can you win in this situation? How can you come out on top in this situation? You want there to have been an ending, or you want to be forgiven. So you either want to be able to leave this behind and come out on top, or you're hoping that you can work it out with this person, because there's a definite need for forgiveness here. There has been a painful ending. You don't want the finality of a decision, or that you don't want to have to examine your culpability. And there is going to be some soul searching, some withdrawal. Purposeful though, but still basically a reckoning. And perhaps third-party situation, perhaps a breakup. So you do want this ending here. You don't want to do the right thing. You don't want justice or balance restored. Somebody's going, I shouldn't say you are, somebody's going inward. Somebody could also be dealing with a Virgo here. This is about finding balance, about the need for balance. All right, so I was shuffling the wrong deck. Let's see here. Let's get into it. I will clarify with these. Gemini. All right, so what's this Ten of Swords about for Gemini? What's this Ten of Swords about? Could be an Aries. So control. Issues with control. Perhaps it's a conversation with somebody you trust to regain control, somebody that you look up to, or a mentor, as how to best stabilize your life or make solid, stable decisions. There has been an ending though, that's for dang sure, and maybe that ending was to either restore balance and control, or because somebody was so controlling and now you're in self-protective mode. There's going to be a lot of scenarios here because this is general, but there are control issues here and stability issues. And perhaps that's why it ended. Someone's in self-protective mode, perhaps. Judgment. What's this Judgment about? Judgment. An offer put out, and someone that's very dynamic, or at least in control. Someone that is, it's almost like there's an offer made to somebody that you feel might be, there's an element of superiority here. Not that that person is, but it's almost like I don't want to have to supplicate myself here. I don't want to have to put out, it could be this decision or this culpability. I don't want to have to basically, I don't want to have somebody else maybe reject my apology. Is that what this is? This is putting something out there. This is sending out an offer, sending something out, and kind of waiting for it to come back, and either someone's in the position to make a decision about what you put out there, or this is Yeah, it's like you don't want to be rejected, perhaps. You don't want to have to examine your culpability. You don't want to have to make the decision, perhaps. Maybe it's that you don't want to work things out with this Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. You don't want to work things out. You don't want to look at your culpability. You're fine with the decision. You don't want to have to make a decision. You don't want the judgment coming down unfavorably on you, or a decision to be like, well, left waiting, and somebody gets to go off and have a lot of fun and these passionate pursuits. Okay, so what's this Three of Swords about here? Good Lord. We got an ending that might have been suspected, or like, yeah, it would kind of make sense. I mean, I was hoping that it wouldn't happen, but whereas this is like out of the blue, like an ending, irreparable. Okay, so this just came out while I was saying that. Okay, so an ending to the happily ever after, or a relationship. It was a 10. All right, so what's this Three of Swords about? Could be an Aquarius. And an ending to the celebration or the communal bliss here, where we all work together and we achieve something, and maybe not. So is this perhaps maybe you want somebody else to get their heart broken. I got my heart broken, you get your heart broken. You just want to go off by yourself, perhaps, and heal. Or you want to have faith in... It's very odd because... Okay, so there's been an ending, right? This speaks to heartache, loss, betrayal, irreparable damage. But then it's almost like what you want to happen is heartbreak giving way to hope, healing, release, and a second chance? Maybe what you want maybe is this heartbreak to be a way for you to heal the relationship. You don't want the right thing to be done, though. What is that all about? What's this Six of Pentacles about? Okay. Using your intuition to figure out how to make things right. Don't want that. And yet here we have going inward to do some soul searching. So we got this ending because of control issues. We don't want to have to look at our culpability to work things out. We don't want to have to submit to the king our reasoning and have them render a decision. You're done with that. This is going inward solo. Why? Because there's been an ending and you... Okay. Wow. So there's been an ending, heartbreak. And you're wanting to get your happy back. You're wanting, maybe this is an ending with a person that you loved very much, and now you're wanting to find a way to be compassionate and kind about that, to not be bitter, to not... It could be an ending to a very stable, happy relationship. We saw that with the 10 of Cups earlier. And you're wanting to find a way to either work it out with this person or come out on top at least through the help of friends. And you want this... I don't get this heartache, though. You want this... Maybe you... No, because you want it to be an ending. Healing, restoration, faith restored, and a marriage. A communal connection. Forward movement, transition, a relationship in transition, probably to the next step. What's this Two of Pentacles about? And you don't want to do the right thing. You want to be heartbroken. You don't want to be heartbroken, but you want... Probably want some downtime. Well, someone's going to be juggling dating, and maybe that's all they want right now. They don't want any emotional connection. It's just a means to an end. basically, maybe they're going to have to reconcile how they feel, but in the meantime, they want to celebrate and date. They want to go out and be social. Maybe they're balancing their work life with their social life. And that's basically what it is, because there's been a heartbreak here. There's, okay, three threes. We got 3 threes here. What is that? Unity. All right. I don't get it. Gemini, I don't get it. I don't get what this heartbreak, betrayal, grief, loss is. And this could speak to the need for forgiveness. So you want to be forgiven. I don't know, though. This is control. Maybe this is, okay, I've done a bad thing. There's been an ending or heartbreak. And you go to talk to somebody who you trust to sort things out and how to get your life back on track. It could be that you're wanting to go see a counselor with this person to restore stability. But then what you don't want to have to do is look at your culpability and kind of put what you want out there and then have it be rejected. So what's going to happen is this withdrawal going inward. There's been an ending. To think about whether there's been an ending. This could be a lot achieved, but an ending or a cycle ending nonetheless. And we got this King of Cups here. So it could be a Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer that you were involved with, Gemini, and there's been an ending with that person. You want... The only thing that feels right to me is that this heartbreak lead to... It's almost like it helps... I don't want to... Over time, it will lead you to what you want. So while you're heartbroken over this ending, this controlled relationship is not what you wanted. You're just ready to cut and run. I've learned a lot from it, but moving on. I'm heartbroken, but over time, I do hope still to become married one day or to have that communal connection with somebody. But as far as this relationship goes, I don't want to have to do any more going inward to think about what to do or how to do the right thing or how to make this work or let's all work together. I don't want that anymore because it ends up feeling like control to me. I don't like that. So I, right now, am deciding what I want for my future, but in the meantime, I'm going to date. But it is a juggling act for me. That's what it feels like. So while there's been an ending and while you're heartbroken, you still believe and still want to have hope and faith for your future with someone and a connection someday. But right now, it's all about going out and looking for that person, and it's a very decisive effort, and you're figuring out what you want. You don't want to do the whole therapy thing or look at your culpability in something, though. This is about you wanting to move forward, wanting to be social, wanting to kind of not lose any ground, so to speak, because of this setback and this breakup. All right. I love how it all comes together within the last 30 seconds. Okay, Gemini. What does Gemini need to know? Gemini. Providing care for others. At some point, this is also about learning when to let go, because you have to trust that for all your involvement, eventually someone's going to be able to make a decision on their own without your care or supervision. So it doesn't look like kids are involved, or at least a main focus here. So this could be for the relationship that you had, that like, okay, well, I'm just going to have to trust that I learned all I can from this relationship, or that I did my part. I don't want to have to try anymore. I don't want to have to take care of anybody anymore. That I don't want that to be a part of my relationship with someone anymore, is providing care or looking after them, and this control and having to be a certain way for their needs. Because we do have control here. Maybe this is you, part of the breakup was because you wanted to be able to care for your child a certain way. And this, maybe there wasn't an allowance for that. I feel like this is more about you feeling like you had to take care of your partner, and it was a very controlling situation, and you didn't like that. You wanted to be free and decide what you want. So while this didn't work out and there's pain, you still have hope for the future with someone else. Gemini. Gemini. What does Gemini need to know? The situation, Gemini. Balance. Creating harmony through balance. Yeah, this was one-sided, and you probably got very tired of having to be the one that provided the stability and had to figure out how to make it work. going inward, withdrawing, not being social because there was so much control. You know, you don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to have to be the one that provided the stability or always did the right thing or always had to capitulate because somebody's ego was out of control, perhaps, and it was up to me to make things work, to do the right thing, to say I'm sorry. You don't want to have to do that anymore. There has to be give and take. Somebody else gets to be wrong too sometimes. And not just because you're being proud or stubborn, but, you know, this feels like it was one-sided. Gemini. What does Gemini need to know? What's the takeaway for Gemini? Fairness. Okay, Gemini. Yeah, this is about basically you were largely in charge of someone else's life and it got old. And you're like, I'm out. I'm going to go in search of finding my person. And from here forward, I need to be very clear about what my boundaries are, what my threshold is, because I don't want to be somebody else's parent in a relationship. There has to be reciprocity and balance and fairness. This situation will be handled in a fair manner. That's what you want for your future. And you're also we got 2 6s here. Did I do 2 6s? I think I did. Intimacy, was it? No. Oh, irritability. I did do 2 6s. Okay. So yeah, there's probably an annoyance, but it does speak to also fairness and things working out, things being rebalanced or calibrated again. So yeah, it's like I've learned from this. Now going forward, now I know what I want. This is kind of pivotal or huge for you because you probably didn't even realize it was happening until it was too late. And then all of a sudden you felt stifled and controlled. And it's like, whoa, next time around in my next relationship, I know what I want now, or I'm going to know what my boundaries are, what my threshold is. All right, Gemini, that is what I have for you. I hope this was helpful. I hope you got something out of it that was useful. I hope to see you in the next reading. Take care.